Looking for help with course design and installations? A new disc or other accessories for your game? Well, OzDiscs has a huge range of all disc golf equipment in stock. 5% of each sale goes back to support your local club through their rewards program. Also, did we mention they have next day shipping? Well, jump online and check out OzDiscs now at www.ozdiscs.com.au. For over 10 years, the Flying Disc Store has stocked Australia's largest range of flying disc products. From disc golf discs and bags to ultimate frisbees, throw and catch discs and dog discs, the Flying Disc Store has everything you need. As part of our support of the Tee-Off, the Flying Disc Store would like to provide Tee-Off listeners with 5% off any purchase in the store. Just use the code TEEOFF5 when checking out to get your discount. Visit www.flyingdiscstore.com.au today to grab a deal. And if you have any questions, be sure to contact their friendly staff. And welcome back to the Tee-Off, an Australian podcast about the awesome sport of disc golf. My name is Paddy Robinson, and I'm here with Timmy Bowen. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, Paddy. I'm getting nervous, mate. We're coming up to a major, Vic Open, on our doorstep.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it, actually. I've been sneaking out to Inver and playing a bit more. Have you been doing the same?
Oh, well, no, because it hit April and it's turned into winter. So I'm like, I've put the disc away. I'm definitely a 23, no wind, no rain kind of disc golfer. It's sad, mate. It's cold out there. What happens?
It has been cold. All these Queenslanders coming down. Make sure you chuck a jumper in. You will feel it.
Speaking of, I heard Bainey's out there camping already.
Oh, is he?
I hope he's freezing to death. Get some frostbite before Vic Open, surely.
Oh, good on him. Always likes to get out and get prepared, doesn't he?
Still on the waiting list, though.
Oh, is he?
Surely the TD. Reese Circuit, surely. Find a spot for him. We need Bainey. He's a Carrier the champ. Didn't he win last time?
Yeah, surely.
Certainly won the one before it.
Yeah,
he won. He won at Ballarat.
Yeah.
Mate, find a spot. We can't have Bainey not playing. He won at Carter 5.
I didn't really know he was out there, actually. I'll go out for a round with him at some point. He'll get in, surely. Someone always drops out. Someone always does.
It's normally you, mate.
No, I'm just last minute, like Bainey. I'm normally on the wait list too. But no, look, episode 59, keen to talk about some Vic Open, Timmy. You make a good point. We've got a few things lined up to discuss Vic Open.
Clayton Beck.
He's going to come on, going to have a chat. And then, we've had a few topics sent in. We've got a heap of stuff to recap with the Pro Tour and the Australian Tour as well. So, big episode. Looking forward to getting
Jomez
into it.
too. Don't forget about Jomez.
Oh, yeah. The votes were in. Keen to go through that as well. But first up, tip of the week. Now, I've actually, we've got two tips, and they're not from me. There's some stuff I've been sent, and one from an Australian pro that I think is a good one. But first up, you've probably seen this getting around if you are no stranger to the old disc golf socials. But this one's from Crazy John. And Timmy, I think this one's a banger.
Wait, who's Crazy John, first of all?
Crazy John. So Crazy John Brooks, he was one of the very early ultimate to disc golf pros. And early PDGA number. He used to be on the Disc Golf Weekly back, before Jomez was the YouTube channel. It was, it's like, welcome back to Disc Golf Weekly with Crazy John Brooks.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he's getting on a bit now. I reckon he'd be in his 60s at least.
This is a good tip of the week.
This is a great tip of the week. So, get prepped. Here it is.
Almost everyone has a slightly different grip, but you must develop a method that provides a firm hold on the disc. How firm? Imagine you are holding a parakeet. Hold tightly enough to keep him from escaping, but not hard enough to kill him.
Yeah, there you go, Timmy.
Imagine you're holding a parakeet.
A parakeet.
That is hard to imagine, Paddy.
So that is from a video, and he's literally holding a budgie in his hand. And the main tip: make sure that you don't kill him.
I reckon my putter grip, if I was practicing that on parakeets, I'd go through a few parakeets.
So look, the good thing, parakeets are cheap.
Couldn't he? What about an ice cream
like
cone?
That? Cheap.
Oh, got it.
There we go.
Imagine you're holding an ice cream cone. Would that be comparable?
Yeah. Well, you're not going to take a life if you squeeze too hard. So probably a better idea there, Crazy John.
Imagine you're holding a parakeet. Okay.
All right. So if anyone's got a bird out there that plays disc golf, show us a gentle practice of it. Yeah. And let us know if it's actually similar to holding a disc. But yeah, the other one comes from an Australian pro. I saw this on the socials and I thought it was a great tip. So I've got it. This is Jade Brady, and this is Jade Brady's tip.
No, everyone's thinking about form too much these days. So everyone's like, I need to fix my form. I've got to fix my form. Do you know what's better than form? Just a little bit of raw talent and some hand-eye coordination, a fuckload of reps, and just being on. You just got to be on. And a 6-pack of wild turkeys wouldn't hurt.
Hang on. I was furiously taking notes. So raw talent, hand-eye coordination, 6-pack of wild turkeys, and just be on.
And a lot of reps.
A lot of reps. Oh, I don't do the reps.
A lot of reps.
I could have done those first 4, but the reps, no, I can't do the reps. That's gold, Jade. That's the secret to the Canberra boys' success, I think.
There you go. So wild turkeys, reps, and a bit of talent.
And just be on.
And just be on.
See, I never do that. I always rock up and I'm just way, way off.
Yeah.
And by the end of like the 3rd round, I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to feel good now.
I go, like when those old school light switches, when you can just have it sitting in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
I get to about there and then it goes off.
The lights flickering.
Yeah.
A couple of birdies, a couple of doubles.
And then it goes. The globe's gone.
Oh, that's gold.
But yeah, so a couple of gold tips there. And if I reckon if you see any good tips or hear any good tips, send them in. I think that's going to be the evolution of this segment, Tim. What do you reckon?
I reckon. I'm just worried people are out there squeezing parakeets, though. It's like, don't go killing any little birds out there, please.
Please.
What's news around the world, around Australia? What's news? What's happened and who's spoken?
The news and tournament recap is brought to you by Disc Golf Warehouse. Use the code TEOFF at the checkout and snag yourself a cheeky little discount.
We're going to start in the US. We had the Disc Golf Pro Tour Play It Again Sports Jonesboro Open presented by Westside Discs. Boy, oh boy, they want to cram in as many sponsors as they can into the names, Paddy.
Just like us.
This one was won by AB. Ahead of Ezra Adderhold, Ben Callaway, Calvin Heimberg, and Simon Lizotte in 5th place. Crazy. Like AB, this is his 3rd win from 5 events. He's the only multiple event winner this year, and he's won 3. And the other 2 events that he didn't win, he came 4th twice.
Yeah. Actually, what's great about this is I've only got through the front 9 of the final. So
spoilers.
no, I don't. No, mate. Yeah, like it's been a week. Yeah. I know. I'm not gonna be sticky about that. But I of course I knew that AB had won, but I'm keen to hear some recap about it, Tim.
Oh, so, absolutely. I want to run through. I'm going to run through those 3 runners up because they all had their chances. We're talking about Ben Callaway, Ezra Adderhold. It looked like it was going to be one of those 2 for a while, and of course Calvin Heimberg, the perennial 2nd place getter.
Yeah.
So
AB, Ezra was on the chase as well as Callaway.
Ezra, Callaway were on the chase card.
Yeah.
Calvin on the lead card, I believe.
And Simon too?
Simon, no, I think. Where was Simon?
No, Simon's on lead.
Yeah, he was on lead. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. With Isaac,
Yep.
AB, he really won out of nowhere. He was actually even par through 12 holes in that final round.
Yeah.
And he went 6 down through the last 6 to win.
Wow.
So it really did look like it was Callaway and Ezra. They were going head to head. Basically it was AB clutching up on hole 14, that like soft par 5 that you have to carry over the water.
Mm-hmm.
AB hit a huge clutch putt for eagle.
Yeah,
That really changed things. There was a hole where Callaway actually laid up. He had like a 40-footer for eagle, and he laid up, which was a little controversial at the time. I think
it was pretty windy though.
It was windy.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of insight on the Tour Life podcast from Brody and Uli. They were talking to Callaway about this. He said he just changed his putter. He used to putt with roaches and now he's putting with the Kratos.
Okay. Kratos.
The Kratos, it's like an overstable lunar, I think.
Kratos.
Yeah.
What a shit name. Sorry. Yeah, go on.
I think it's a Greek god. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he said
sounds like
Kratos is like more overstable than his roaches, so he hasn't really dialed in that distance.
Yeah.
And in the wind, like he didn't want it to fade out early and have a huge comebacker.
So what does he end up coming position-wise?
He ends up coming tied second. They're all one shot behind AB.
Yeah, I think it's all right that he laid up then. Yeah. Like in that, in that kind of wind for sure. He's still podiums.
I mean, he also had an absolutely filthy spit out from the bullseye, mind you, which I don't know. I felt like he putted it too hard, but you kind of need to do that in the wind.
That happens in wind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he putt upside down?
He didn't know, just nice and flat, straight off the pole. But, I mean, it was pretty dirty. And when you lose by one shot, these are the things you look at.
True. Yeah.
Anyway, it got down to the last hole, and it really was AB and Kelvin that could have won it. AB, hole 18's I think it's like almost 500 feet, like 490 feet, slightly downhill. You can lay up to a little OB river or hang out a big wide hyzer and try and get the two. AB went first, stuck it to about 40 feet, and then Kelvin he choked. He fully shanked, not just like off by a little. He went way too inside, hit the trees, and landed at OB. And, getting up and down from the drop zone's a near impossibility. So that was all she wrote.
Yeah, right.
AB, he laid up, so he didn't need to run that putt in the end, which was, it was a disappointing way to finish. I think having a par 3 to finish is not my preference.
Yeah.
Anyway, the 3 runners up, I want to go through, and I've got some nice alliteration here if anyone's keeping an eye on that. Calvin's catastrophe came on hole 10.
Okay.
So he got a double bogey on hole 10, and it was pretty amateurish, to be honest. Hit trees off the tee, and then he had like a standstill backhand, which he probably tried to bite off more than he needed to, and he hit a tree 5 feet, 10 feet in front of him. Oof. So he took 3 steps forward and threw again.
I mean, never done that before, have we, Tim?
I mean, I was thinking, would a forehand have benefited him there? He could have straddled out a bit. It probably would have, to be honest. But yeah, according to Ultiworld's Upshot, fantastic podcast if you don't listen to it, Calvin's played that hole 20 times and he's not scored worse than a par on it.
Yeah, right.
So calling this Calvin's catastrophe is a bit of an understatement. Getting a double is no good.
That hurts.
Ezra's error came on hole 14. So this was the hole that AB.
Did you make these up?
Yeah, I kind of. The first 2 came naturally. And I was like, no, I better stick to it. I'm mincing them, by the way. They sounded better when I first came up with them. So Ezra, hole 14. It's the eagle one.
Yeah.
He has a bit of a off drive in the sense that there's one tree that you want to just be anywhere around, but not right on the trunk of. And that's exactly what Ezra was. So he was out of position, had to do a standstill straddle forehand, which we were like, he's never going to get across the water doing that. And he went for it, and it was just a massive shank. It was just a nosedive forehand straight into the lake. Like if you can imagine just getting like a Macca's thick shake and you get your straw and you jam it in there, start chomping on your thick shake. That's what Ezra did. He just jammed his disc like full pelt into the middle of the lake.
Can we call it like the thick shake now?
It was a shocker.
If we do that? Yeah.
It was a shocker.
Jeez.
Like standstill forehands, they're tricky, and he certainly showed how they can go wrong. Now, over to Ben Callaway, Tight Pants, who came second last year actually. Tight Pants is what we call him because he's. I
think that name's a bit longer, but tight pants. Yeah, tight pants. It is.
So Callaway's calamity came on hole 17. He's out of position off the tee, which is like a hard thing to do. It doesn't really look like a difficult tee shot. Just a simple backhand hyzer on 17. He's out of position, but he kind of knew he needed to go for it at that stage. Looked like he threw a cracking shot. I was really loving the shape of it, but unfortunately went a little long. OB. So I think. That was really where it went wrong for Callaway. And speaking to him on the Tour Life podcast, he laid up on 14 knowing that he could really score well on the last few holes. And missing 17, going OB on 18 just like Kelvin did, it kind of backfired on him.
Skilled it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I've only watched the front 9. I saw there was a few big mistakes I saw in there as well, which now having known a little bit more context. I mean, Ezra, I think it's hole 6 or 7. No, hole 7. He runs a putt that's full death.
And he took like a full minute on it, eh? Like
Yeah.
he was like in two minds. You could see the indecision.
Yeah.
And then he still went for it, and it was just a massive whiff, wasn't it?
And it's gone so far down the hill. But my question with that, do you go for that putt? He's chase card. He's got to keep going. Mm-hmm. What do you reckon? Do you think he made the wrong decision?
I wouldn't run that putt. I mean, I can put myself in that mindset where he wasn't sure that he was going to get it. The wind means that there's no way that you can sort of run it in a way that the disc won't be at least 30 feet away for the comebacker. So, no, I lay that up 100%.
Yeah. I think if I was more on the side, like, I mean, he was top of the hill to the bottom of the hill. All he's thinking about is, shit, that's going all the way down.
And he's in that spot where you're like, I've got 30 seconds. I'll wait for the wind to die.
Yeah.
And then you've wasted like 25 and it hasn't died. And then you're kind of like, oh, I don't know.
Quick. What do I do?
And yeah, that was a massive. He really should have laid that up.
Yeah.
They spoke to him on the podcast as well, and he was saying, look, he can't bank on AB and Gannon not, birdieing every single hole. So he feels like he has to go for that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a massive mental advantage that AB's dominance has gained him at the start of the season. Everybody's thinking AB's going to birdie this, so I'll have to keep up.
Mate, but that is going to elevate all these dudes. Like if they're, Callaway lays up and he takes second. If he, like now, if he's moving forward, it's like, yeah, all right, I've got to give this a run. And if he starts cashing that stuff, it's going to elevate all these guys' games, that's for sure. I mean, Paul Macbeth had that legacy for so long. Yeah. Like, Paul's going to come out and shoot a world record, all right, I need to be on, I need to run this sort of stuff. So it's super exciting. But
very exciting. And yeah, it is going to elevate their performances. I really liked Callaway's strong performance, actually. He's repping the disc golf dads out there.
Well, mate, I had him in the picks.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I picked him because he got hot at this event last year. So I'm glad that he stayed the same.
Yeah.
So good on you. Thanks.
Just want to take a little bit of a magnifying glass to AB's performance. 1055 average, 83% from C1X and 24% from C2, and only a single OB stroke. So
wow.
Good numbers. Not crazy good numbers, but good numbers, particularly in the wind out there. Very, very windy comp.
That final round seemed pretty gross and it seemed to hit the afternoon as well. Like, didn't Matteo shoot like an 11 down or something in the final round?
Yeah, spot on. He had an early tee time, so that definitely helps.
Yeah.
Haven't even chatted about FPO. We had a return to the winners' podium for Kristen Tatar. She whooped him, Paddy. 9 shots. 9 shots.
Whipped him.
Absolutely spanked him.
Yeah.
Holland Hanley was in second place. Evelina and Maria Oliva were the next best.
Yeah. Her KT's ankles must have been all right.
Oh, it needs to be. Walking up and down those slopes at Jonesboro. 10-16 average for KT. So she might squeak the 1,000 rated, the 1,000 average, maybe.
How many neckbeards are watching it?
She might get 1,000 rated. I hope so. I don't know if 10-16 was quite enough, but she's got a chance to. I think there's 2 more events that are going to be in this rating update: Champions Cup and Music City. So if she has 2 more good ones, she's every chance to get there.
Oh, look out! That's going to be a disc that I want to buy.
Feels rough not talking about FPO for as long as MPO, but really when KT smashes the field by that much, there's not much to be said. I mean, did anybody go out and watch it? I don't know if I bother. I might see some highlights, but
yeah, look, I mean, we rarely get to watch it here. We'd have to go back because it comes on so early.
Yeah.
I did go through and watch some highlights, and there was some good stuff. But yeah, you're right. It's a KT dominance.
Yeah. Look at these stats. So she putted at 73% C1X, 24% C2. 73%, not bad, not elite. 24% C2 is very competitive in the FPO side of things. But these are the ones that got it done. We've got the, excuse the printer there.
That's great. That's only 20 minutes late on printing show notes.
We tried to print these show notes. But look at these stats from KT. Highest parked percentage, C2 in regulation and C1 in regulation. So she's throwing the disc as well as you possibly can at the moment. Hitting those stats, you can putt like Evelina and still win.
Yeah, wow. Good on her.
Now, I've got a few more notes about Jonesboro. Corey Ellis made some comments. Unreliable baskets was the headline. And he's calling on the Disc Golf Pro Tour to standardise baskets and do something about it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Did you see any of Gannon Burr's spit outs?
No, but I had Gannon and Corey Ellis both.
You had both?
All in my picks.
Oh,
so
Lord. Gannon he just couldn't get the disc to stick in those baskets. The discs are DD veterans.
Yeah, okay.
And look, a lot of people were saying he putts too hard. And Gannon said, yeah, I putt hard, but these baskets suck.
Yeah, right.
So, and look, Corey jams them as well. So,
yeah. One thing about like those baskets, I suppose they're mass produced, so they're going to fit whatever they're made to. Like yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to punch them out.
Yeah.
I mean, like I liken it to what are some of the best catching disc baskets? Probably the DGA Mac X's,
Mark 10s, yeah,
Mac 10s. Honestly, I'll he's not here, so I'll throw it in for him. But the Rad Ace 2s, absolute quality. What's another one that we don't mind?
They're the two that I pick. I mean, the Innova disc catcher seems fine.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, I prefer like the deeper catches that we have now.
There's, trays, big trays.
But yeah, like I'd love to see a standardized basket. It would be tricky to, run it for a national tour.
Yeah,
that they're doing. But it's interesting. Yep. I mean, I've listened to a few podcasts where James Proctor talks about the different baskets. So, and he knows the sweet spot on a lot of different baskets and he practices on them.
Yeah.
And he can adapt his putt to the basket. So I think there's that. If people say Gannon putts too hard, I mean, I only
he putts at light speed, mate. He's throwing them in.
Yeah.
He's whipping. He holds it in his little gun holster next to his hip.
Yeah. And
then he just freaking quick draws it at the basket.
And I don't think there's a one putt should fit all type thing.
Not at all.
I think, like, yes, Gannon's a good putter, but when you look at James Proctor, who can switch between spin and straddle and push and all that sort of stuff and putt slow, putt hard, putt in wind, that's what it takes. So I don't hate that, there is a little bit of unreliability at times. Like, yeah, you don't like to see center pole spit outs. But to know that where the sweet spot is on different baskets, I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
Some people were people just complain about bloody everything. People were complaining about the metal advertising board underneath the tray because Calvin Heinberg hit it once or twice. He hit it twice, I think, and his disc just got up and rolled away.
No.
But it's like, that's just luck and all. That's part of the game.
I've hit twigs and stopped my disc immediately.
If that advertising's not there, then you hit the pole.
Yeah.
And same thing maybe. Who knows? Luck of the draw. Move on.
Yeah. Agreed. And it looks, I like the look of that underneath the baskets, having the advertising there. I think it looks schmick.
Makes a shocking noise when you hit it though.
Yeah, it does.
I don't mind that either.
Yeah.
Now, next one. Waden Sides. Not only did he get one ace on hole 15 in round 2, round 3, hit the exact same ace on the exact same hole. And like, you will look at the videos side by side, amazing viewing. Like, it's exactly the same shot, exactly the same timing. His arms go up at the same time.
Yeah.
He gets high fives from the people behind him at the same time. It's like, it's literally deja vu. And I threw it out there on the socials. Didn't get any feedback, but the man's got 2 aces.
Yeah.
I love me poker. We call them bullets in poker or pocket rockets.
Yeah.
So surely Waden Sides has got a new nickname.
Yeah, Pocket Rocket. That sounds good.
Pocket Rocket, yeah. I mean, just getting called bullets would be sick.
Bullets actually pretty good too. Yeah.
Surely someone's made that happen.
All right.
I want to point out that whole Jake Wolf. Now, we know Jake Wolf is he comes from a baseball background. He's the guy that throws lots of Tommies, only forehand, whips his forehands, hyzer flips, just like the man's wearing a sleeve, and he's known for having like 2 hours of like practice before the comp, just like way overly thorough. He had to DNF, and the video that he showed of him DNF is that hole 15 shot, and he's throwing like a full pallet tomahawk overhead elbow killer shot. And I'm like, is it not clear, Jake, that maybe you should stick to the simple disc golf shots? I mean, I'm just saying, is it intervention time for Jake Wolf? Like I see he's doing stuff with another round as well, another round disc golf. Who they're the ones that just throw their bags at every basket and try and get an ace.
Yeah.
Like he sent a reel where he had like 80 shots, a couple of hours trying to get an ace, like flipping up every disc in his bag forehand.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
I wonder why you had to DNF, mate. Your elbow can only take so much. It's just, I mean, and even in that whole 15, why are you throwing a Tommy when it's just a forehand or a gentle backhand turnover?
Man, once they get those ones down, they get super consistent with the Tommies, but there's no way I can barely do one in a round.
He's throwing, he throws his forehand so hard. I don't know. Just longevity of his disc golf game needs to sort that out. Speaking of injuries, we had a couple more. So, Chris Dickerson, did you see his post out, Paddy?
Yeah, I did have a read of it.
Shocking stuff.
I didn't quite realise how it was, how ongoing it was.
Yeah.
We knew he announced a bit at the end of the last year.
I'll just run through some of the posts. So he's had 2 radiologists and orthopedic surgeons review an MRI that he had, and he's got moderate to severe osteoarthritis in the hip. It's bad enough that it's caused multiple bone spurs, and he also has a vascular necrosis, which basically means his hip's not getting blood flow and the bone is dying. So we're looking at a man that's, I think he may be 30, early 30, Chris Dick.
I think early. I think he's about our age. Yeah.
He might actually be like 29 still. I'm not sure. But, I mean, they're talking about hip replacement. And then, ideally, puts off a hip replacement until he's in his 50s. Ideally, I mean, the ideal situation is you don't have one. But he's that's a dreadful prognosis for CDick.
I mean, look, I did a little bit of research into it. You can do quite a bit to put that off. But, I mean, it's like anything chronic.
Yeah.
It could flare up. It could be okay. It depends what happens. It's a tricky one.
I just want to throw it out there, Dickerson. If you want some tips on throwing with absolutely no lower body activation and just all arms, I'm open for tips and open for clinics. I love throwing just only arms, Paddy.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few, of the Masters guys who might have had a couple of hip replacements as well.
Last point, unfortunately, more injury news for Eagle McMahon. He's back this week for Music City Open, but he reached in the back of his car for something, turned his body and tweaked something in his back. So he's having lower back issues. He reckons he's 50-50 to even play tomorrow. Having a practice round today, and we'll find out whether he starts round 1.
Okay. Who's in his picks? Who took him?
Shawnee.
Okay, that's all right. No worries.
Sucked in, Shawnee. Now, we spent way too long on the US side of things. We were moving over to the Aussie tour. We had the Rob Hancock Memorial presented by Gallon Lithium. I mean, the Rob Hancock Memorial, it just has a special place in a lot of WA disc golfers' hearts.
Yep.
So good to see that it's carrying the tradition, and a lot of those, they're all in the MP40s these days. You got your Rob Cinquinis, Carl Bellacinis, all those boys.
Yeah.
It's good to see them carrying the torch and still going strong.
Yeah.
Blakey Housen had a win in MPO. He had
nice
a 3-shot lead over Alex Kinniston and in third place Damon Williams. In MP40, it will look like it was a playoff between Finney and Rob Cinquini. And Rob got the chocolate, so big congrats to Rob Cinquini.
Nice one.
Moving on, FP40, Joanne McCamish got a 1-shot win over Sue Summers. MA1, Aidan Dightwig with a hot 13 down, so well done to Fingers taking out MA1.
Look out.
FA1, Leah Manning. MA40, Matt Beard.
Good name.
Obviously, Beardy get a win over Briggsy. Yeah. FA40, Tanya Leanne. MA50, Dal Beatty.
Nice, Dal.
MA2, Jake Kaufman. FA2, Julie O'Donoghue. MA3, Caleb Powley. MA4, Rupert Marklew. So well
nice
done.
one. All right. And then we had the 2024 Crater Lakes Classic. Now, this was a 2-round overnighter. Saturday PM, Sunday AM. Timmy, you did sneak over. Tournament director was Justin Clark. Assistant was Ryan Nicholson. And, look.
Mate, I want to give those two boys a special shout out first of all. Done a few craters. Normally it's a 1 blue and 1 red course. They've just gone 2 advanced course this time around, which was fantastic. A great change. No mixed cards.
Yep.
Like, this might have been the best C tier that I ever played, I reckon.
Oh, look out.
Everyone played with a division, and it was hot, mate. Hot from the start.
Yeah.
So
Bainey snuck over there. Not a bad MPO field. I think there were, 8? Was there
Solid
2
8.
cards? Yeah.
And like Bainey's obviously an outlier because he's just a freak, 4-digit man. Well, not quite, but he'll be pushing 4 digits after this one, I reckon. Mm-hmm. But the other 7, very tightly packed, and anyone could have taken the podium spots there.
Yep. So who came second, Tim?
Myself, mate.
Oh, lovely.
Yep.
Well done.
A
Congrats.
beater. And then Single G rounded out 3rd place.
Nice.
Yeah, great comp.
Yeah.
Really, really good one over there. I just want to point out, round 2, the advanced layout has one tiny hole. Hole 3, it's like 50 metres, all downhill.
Wait, which one? Where are you starting from?
Start from that car park, yep. So hole 1, hole 2 is the big par 4, or not big, but eagleable par 4. Bainey did eagle it, actually. It's a beautiful upshot from Bainey.
Yeah.
Way too high, and it went in. Would have definitely been way down the hill if, if the chains didn't get in the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next hole is one I want to talk about.
Yeah.
It's super easy. It's the one Jeff Brunson got his first ever race on.
Yeah, the downhiller.
So yeah, Bainey was the only one who picked up the birdie in MPO in round 2, which was embarrassing.
Yeah.
FPO, Tosh Freakman got over there and had a good win.
Nice, Tosh.
MP40, Daz, actually
Nice.
would have come tied with me for second in MPO.
Yeah.
But he decided he wanted a 10-shot win over the TDJC in MP40.
Mate, he's gunning for that Aussie team.
That's
what
it.
he's doing.
Very good form, Daz.
Yep.
That MP40, we've got to talk about the Wolf Doof team selections because MP40, that's going to be hard to pick.
Hotly
there's
contested.
Daz, Ryan Johnson, who's the champ, mind you.
Yep.
Chris Finn.
Yep.
Ruben Berg. Like, how do you...
Mate, put them all in and they can jump into Open.
Vic Open's going to be... I imagine they're all
Yeah.
going Vic Open. It's going to be hotly contested.
Yeah. Dig it.
MA1, there was a playoff between Hayden McPherson and John O'Dract, and Hayden got the chocolates in three holes.
Oh, really?
He won on that little downhiller.
Why'd you put Jonathan in here then?
Did I put Jono in the notes?
Yeah.
No.
Doing a dirty.
Doing a dirty. Hayden,
right.
Hayden got the win. Well done.
Well done, Haydo.
Haydos had those beautiful Oz dick. Oh, my God. Whoops. Beautiful Oz disc.
Yeah, jeez. Mate, you're really sucking up your sponsor there, mate.
Oz disc. There you go.
There we go. Nailed
Oz
it.
discs and Heiser Flight gear getting him the win. That was what Jono was lacking.
It's going to be great on the socials too.
MA40, Lee Thompson had a win over Ryan Nicholson. He had a
Nice.
good lead going into the last round, and Ryan actually chomped it down with an ace out there. And
Ooh.
yeah, Lee was a little nervous after that.
Fair enough. Which hole did he ace?
It's hole 10. It is a very good one to ace because it's that, like, the basket's on the slope.
Yeah.
And there's really no way to park your disc. It's throw it and hope it doesn't roll away. There's actually a infant tree behind, like a metre from the basket that has a cage around it as well. And I've seen Ryan Nicholson ace that cage, which is actually more impressive.
More impressive.
Because he had to get it in the top of it. So he's got that shot dialed.
Nice.
FA40, Christy Hales Thornton had a very good win over Michelle Schultz. MA50 was a playoff. Hank Terpstra got the chocolates over good mate and arch nemesis Paul Barbagallo.
Oh, no.
Bit of a Geelong stoush there.
Oh, that's going down in Geelong history.
That's
nice.
it. MA2, Andrew Young-Jackaway got a win. FA2, Kate Eldridge. MA3, Matt Chulip had a good win. Well done,
Lovely.
Matty. MA4, Brett Stevenson. FA4, Taylor Clark. MJ15, Lincoln Holman playing his first ever comp. Well done to Link.
Yeah.
And FJ15, Eloise Hart.
Oh, Ellie.
Eloise, I'll have used.
Eloise. Oh, okay.
Ellie Hart playing her second ever event. Getting tips from her dad, I saw before started round 2. So, Ellie, maybe try your brother, I reckon. Just
Yeah.
want to put that out there.
Wow. I mean, she's the only Hart who won. So
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a very good point. Shout out to Ellie.
All those Harts are winners.
They're going to be absolute weapons.
Yeah. All right.
Mate, so that was a gargantuan recap. Next up, we've got the Vic Open. And I just want to point out too, Paddy, this weekend we were meant to do the tee-off versus throwers, but it got postponed.
Yeah.
And I hear it's because you're just a flat-out chicken. I mean, I was listening to throwers, and I'm hearing that you're scared. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Any time. Just, not when I double book. When I'm going away.
No, that's shocking. But stay tuned. We're going to have a bit of a stoush with the throwers at some stage.
Yeah.
On our home turf. I don't know how we manufactured that, but it's going to be on our turf.
Oh, well, it can be on any turf. We'll be right.
Oh, I reckon they'd have us at Stony. Hole 2, mate. I don't know if I could get it done.
All right. Next up, I think we're going to chat to Clayton Beck and discuss a bit more of the upcoming Vic Open. Looking forward to it.
We just called to have a chin wag. We just called to have a chat with friends. We just called to talk some disco and to catch up on the latest disco trends.
Okay, and on the phone we have Clayton Beck now. I've just done a bit of an intro, mate. We're going to discuss a bit of the Vic Open because it is next weekend. It's the first major for a while. Keen to get into it. Are you feeling excited about playing?
Oh, always, mate, always. I love Inverleigh course. I haven't played it for over 2 years now, so keen to get back there.
Was Champs the last time you played it?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah? Okay.
All right, don't keep us in the dark. How'd you go?
We don't want to talk about that. That was my first MPO showing.
Yep.
Started to do it at the exact wrong time. Finished plus 30, and I was 13 strokes behind second best.
Plays hard, Inverleigh.
Uh-huh.
You'll be happy to know it's a lot cleaner these days. There's less acacia out there, but birdies are just as hard to come by.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Well, hopefully not as hard.
in the last 2 years, you've definitely the skills have improved massively. Do you have a bit of a target in mind? Are you kind of like just want to try and come in under par? What are you thinking, Clayton?
Damn. It's going to be tough to decide that because it has been. I've gone up almost 100 rating points since the last time I played it. So, I mean, I would like to say I have a chance at the win, but there's so many top dogs there, so it's going to be hard. I would definitely expect to go under par, but just in the cash would be lovely, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think we'd all like to be in the cash.
Well, would we? Because that's a beautiful segue into what's been a very hot topic of discussion, maybe behind scenes a little bit, in the certainly in the pro MPO side of things. We're talking about the cash payouts. Now, the elephant in the room is the fact that Vic Open is becoming a little notorious for having the lowest cash, the lowest pro purse out there.
Yeah.
And that's just because they're sticking to the international guidelines, which is 50% of, I think net entry fees, which is entry fees minus expenses. Mm-hmm. This Vic Open, they're paying 50% of gross entry fees, which I think has certainly has raised some eyebrows, Paddy, to put it lightly.
Why we've brought it up on the pod is obviously Tim, myself, Clayton, we all play MPO. And it has been a topic that's been brought up, but it's also been a topic that's been sent in by 3 different people who want us to discuss the open payout structure. So the MPO field got an email from Disc Golf Vic, about 2 weeks ago? Do you reckon, Clayton? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks, yeah.
With the proposed payout structure, and when you look at the MPO field, which has 32 registered.
I had 30 last time I looked.
30 registered MPO players, which is the largest so far this year. Only in the largest in the last 6 months, because Champs only had 32, and we had international people play. So, it's one of the biggest fields, but when that proposed payout structure came out, it was pretty low. It
was very low. And
very low.
Just to put it in perspective, someone sent in a very nice little summary here. Comparing the 8 tiers around the country, Eruption paid out at about 160% of gross entry fees. So they added money to the pot. Sizzler paid out about 110%, Queensland Open 120%, Tassie Open 140%. We should have got over for that one, Paddy.
Yeah, we should have.
WA Open about 100%, SA Open around 80%, and Vic Open is the outlier there at around 50%. So Clayton, you've nicely put together a bit of a discussion group, and how's the vibe in that group? What are people saying?
The vibe could be better. There's a lot of discussion about that at the moment, about what we should have as the set regulation that it isn't 50%. 50% is just not good, not good enough. There's a lot of discussion about what would be the lowest accepted rate, and it's not 50%.
Now, look, the Disc Golf Vic in tournament. Disc Golf, the tournament director is Reece Circuit, but Disc Golf Vic is running the Vic Open at the moment, and president is Matt Hill. So, look, I did reach out to Matt Hill, and we were going to discuss this pod and everything 2 days ago, but unfortunately, we didn't end up catching up. In the meantime, he was going to give us some info into that. But they're not actually doing anything against the PDGA guidelines. The minimum recommendation is 50%, so they are meeting the 50%. So nothing is, in quotations, illegal about the payout structure. But it just doesn't keep in tied with all the other events that are going on around. And like Tim, you said at the very start, this is the third year running where the payment structure has been only at 50% with this large state championships. It's disappointing to see again. So, just to put it in perspective, like first, the proposed payout is $600, which doesn't seem too bad, and it's paying out to 8th. Entry fee was $140. So out of 30 people, you need to place 6th, and you'll get your entry fee back. Yeah, which is
top 20% to get your cash back. Yeah,
top 20%, which is pretty rough, to be honest. Trying to place, I mean, like you said as well, Clayton, like there's some good players in there. So if you come anywhere underneath that, you're not getting what you paid into it. It's putting a lot of people off, and there's a lot of interstate people coming over to play this as well. So it does put unfortunately, it's I feel like it's put a little bit of an asterisk against the Vic Open.
Yeah, when I got that payout list, I was like, oh, that's interesting. They put it in USD.
And it's not,
but
it's
that definitely
AUD.
wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's even worse.
And someone like yourself,
so
sorry to cut you off there, Clayton. Someone
No,
like
you're good.
yourself, I feel like, we're looking at that list of 30. You and me are probably in a similar spot where we're like, we've got to finish top 6 to get our cash back. There are 6 clear players that are a lot better than us at the moment. So us sneaking into that sort of 7th and 8th spot's probably more likely. How important is it for you, traveling interstate, taking time off work, trying to get your practice rounds in, how important is it for you to get that, a little bit of cash to help offset the costs of traveling? Like, does it cross your mind to think maybe, I'm not going to make this comp, next time around?
Yeah, it would. If there was like transparency in how much they expected to pay out, like in percentage wise of what they bring in, if that was put out before the entries came in, I feel like they'd have half the field. It's quite important, like especially if you are interstate, you have a lot of fees and a lot of time taken out of your life to do this sort of stuff. And so if you have like the expectation that, oh yeah, if I place 8 and I get $300, that's not too bad, but that's not even third place. So like, what's the point?
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. And I think like the general consensus is 50% of gross fees or even net fees is absolutely fine for a C tier. But when you're talking about a B tier, it should probably move up to something like 75%. And this is an A tier. Like this is our elite event for the Victorian state. You should be at 100%, if not more than 100%. Put it out for sponsors to try and add to the pro purse. So you see that growth in the MPO, FPO, MP40 divisions. I feel like someone's going to want to sponsor that. And everybody wants to see the best players in the country duke it out at one of the most challenging courses in the country. And this has certainly put a little bit of an asterisk against it, I think, Paddy. Like the pro level and the standard of disc golf has come leaps and bounds in Australia in the last 2 years. Like there's so many more people playing MPO, and this is a real backhander to them. And a lot of people are questioning, why am I playing MPO? If I'm paying more, what am I paying more for? Where's the money going?
Well, yeah, you made the step up, Clayton. You said 2 years ago was your first time that you've stepped up into MPO. Like, why did you step up? What made you step up into MPO? And what do you play MPO for?
I did actually step up because at the time, MPO was like in Newcastle, at least there was 3 of my mates were MPO, and I didn't know anyone from MA1 or MA2. So I just didn't want to bother with that, just go up and play with my mates instead. But yeah, now that I'm actually like, on the higher end of that and trying to actually compete for that stuff, yeah, that's most important.
I think you nailed it on the head, Tim. If there's more people playing There should be more money going in. We play open to win cash. Like we could like entry fees went backwards. Like it seems.
Well, just on entry fees,
Yeah.
Matty, as well. Like the juniors are paying $70, amateur divisions are paying $100. MPO, FPO, and MP40 are paying $140. And what they're doing is they're taking 50% of all those fees. So out of AMs, they're taking $50. Out of the pros, they're taking $70. Why are we paying that extra 20? First of all, where is that going? What is the point of making the pros pay more money? The point of that in every other comp is to add more money to the pro purse. I don't understand why we're doing it at Vic. So we're not getting players packs. We're not getting anything else. It's just, where's that extra money going?
No, a question I can't answer. This is unfortunately it comes down. I think the budget is on probably Disc Golf Vic, and because they're in control of the Vic Open now.
I think in general and I don't want to speak for Disc Golf Victoria and the Vic board and whatnot at this stage, but I think the logic is that they're not putting on the events for the pros, so they're happy to do the bare minimum for the pros because the main idea of these comps is play for the AMs.
Says who?
Yeah, look, I think in their views the MPOs aren't growing the sport, and I have to flat out disagree with that.
Yeah, because that's what happens overseas with Jomez. They film the amateurs, that's what brings the numbers in.
100%.
Yeah,
and I think there is because we're not up to the standard of the US pros here.
No,
but we're still the top level of disc golf nationally, and everybody that's playing amateur disc golf in Australia is watching us. They're trying to, I don't know about you, Paddy, and I don't know about you, Clayton, but people slide into your DMs asking about stuff, mentioning their rounds, talking about how can I get better. I feel like we're doing our bit, and it'd be nice to get that a little bit more respect at these comps for sure. Yeah, and a little bit more incentive to actually show up and want to be there, to be honest, because I feel like, and Clayton, you did a really good job, putting together a bit of a MPO discussion group. I feel like that's what the consensus of the group is a lot of the players don't want to be there because they feel like it's not worth their time financially and just the lack of respect.
Definitely. I think it is very important to have that incentive to be in the MPO. It's not even hurting us. It's not hurting Disc Golf Victoria. It's hurting Disc Golf Australia. If there's no incentive to go MPO, then people are stopping at MA1. They're happy. They're content. That is not going to get any Australians over on the American tour or in Europe. Bainey started that for us, and we want to see more of that. But if there's no one wanting to go to MPO because they're just going to get views, then that's never going to happen.
Yeah,
and look, your Baineys, your Dylans, your Austins, your Jades, yourself, Paddy, they grow the sport. You're pushing people to get better. You're bringing up the standards of all the amateur divisions because they're wanting to take you down. It's just flat out how it is.
Yeah, and look, you sort of talk about play progression. If you go from starting, you buy your first disc to go all the way up to a state championships, you can do that. There's leagues, there's courses around. Yes, there always needs to be more, but that is doable. We're getting to a point now where a lot of these guys are coming up and the ceiling is set. There's a lot of people in the country. I think about South Australian Mount Gambier guys, what we saw at Queensland, what we saw at Champs, what we've seen at the Sizzler this year. There's a lot of these people out there. Your Jeff Walls as well. There's interest in raising the ceiling. These people are trying to make a bit more cash, a bit more presence in their events. Even the guys coming and filming, filming the MPO and stuff like that. But that ceiling is still set, and it's a little knockback like this that ceiling just stays where it is. Yeah. And ADG, they don't have to focus on MPO. I don't think that's really their drive. That's fine. But you can see that a lot of these events Crater Lakes Classic or Sizzler or, the Eruption, they just want to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we see what's happening in New Zealand. They're getting bigger and bigger. They had all their pros over. They've raised that ceiling. Mm-hmm. They're raising it even further. And, who didn't watch what happened in New Zealand this year and think, shit, I want to get there next year.
I mean,
I think every
MPO.
and
And even
MPO.
like Jeff Wall and Andy Wiz's comp,
Yep.
Winter, like, I'm locking that in if they run another one because it was just, I don't know, it was something different and refreshing to every other comp that we play.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've gone too far. We're all
have.
tilted. We're going to put our tilt juice aside, and I want to get some tips, Clayton. So I think it's a bit of a cop out just to ask for a winner of MPO. Let's try and go for a podium, and you can pretend Bainey's already on there. Give us your top three.
Yeah, okay.
Invalid Golds.
Okay. All right. Oof. Well, I mean, it's hard to go past Dylan, really. That's his jam right there. He loves that place.
That's why I asked for a podium, because Dill's just a lock, I think. A lock.
Exactly.
He's my lock of the week.
Rated 1,007. We have 2,000 rated players in there.
Might be three. I reckon Bainey's going to sneak up there again. He's playing some good disc
Well,
golf,
if he
Bainey.
gets off the wait list.
True. Yeah, so Dylan definitely won. I feel like, so it's a tight line course. Austin could do well. I can definitely see him being up there. He just needs to make sure he's accurate instead of everywhere like he usually is. He's got plenty of power. He just needs to hit the line.
It's only rated 928 on metrics though, Austin. So I don't know. Shaky pick. Very shaky pick.
Can we make
I'm
sure?
not even 900 rated on metrics. So I'm not sure about that one.
It was funny. We're talking about the doubles. Clayton snuck in with Reese, and their metrics rating is so low they can actually play Division 2.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I made a comment
We're not
today,
doing that,
buddy.
I would like to.
I'm like, if you look at the sheer ratio of entry fees to payout, the doubles comp is actually the real comp. Like, it's the more important comp this weekend. So, mate, it's going to go down. I certainly want to beat you and Reese.
Sounds good.
But, yeah, who's your third?
Yep.
So you got Dill, Austin, number 3.
I actually don't know if he's in the list. I think he is. Alex Canaston, is he playing?
Oh,
Yeah.
AK-47. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Fourth
yeah.
rated.
Yeah, mate. Yep, I reckon he's got it.
Yeah, good shout. I like his forehand for Invalid.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Nice. Timmy, what do you think?
I am going to lock in Dylan. I mean, Bainey. And I can't go past Dave Perry. The man's got a weapon of a forehand. And if you've got the forehand distance, it just opens up another 4 or 5 birdies that you can get out of Invalid.
Yep. I think that's pretty solid. I would say, Dill Dave if he gets off the wait list, Bainey, but I might chuck in a Jade Brady there as well. The
Yep.
boy's been playing very well lately.
Red hot.
Yeah, I reckon those three will be definitely up there.
Now, Clayton, I need to bring up...
playing a Merlin this weekend.
Yeah, that'll be
Very
a
true.
good little tester. All right. Now, I want to talk about one more thing, Clayton. I happened to see on your socials the other day doing a bit of field work in the backyard, mate. And you got a nice net.
Oh, no.
Nice, what is it must be 3-4 metre wide net. Have a chuck at.
I did see this too.
Yeah.
And
3 meters.
you may have grip locked her a little, Clayton. Maybe you whiffed the net. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So you basically full pelt yeeted a disc from your backyard straight at your neighbour's back fence. And, mate, what was the end result?
It landed 2 streets away in the middle of the road.
So good form then, eh?
So it was great power. It just, it should have stopped the net, and it went about 150 meters away from me. So
No damage? Didn't hit little old
No
Betsy
damage, no.
walking down the street?
thankfully, no.
No?
Yeah, it was right in the middle of the street, nowhere near anyone. So
Good. All right.
That's
great.
well done, mate.
No,
If I
no
did
child lying on the ground next to your disc. Yeah, fantastic.
not after I hit them.
Oh, mate, if I did that in my neighbourhood, like the amount of complaints they get about a single piece of dog poo left on the lawn or a cat. Heaven forbid you don't lock your cat up in jail at night. That'll be on the... My neighbourhood would kill a disc golf frisbee that landed in their front yard.
Oh, fantastic.
Anyway,
All
I
right.
thought that was funny, mate. Thanks heaps for coming on so we can rip you about that one.
Yeah, mate. No chance.
All right. And all the best in Molong. Enjoy.
Thank you. Cheers.
Paddy, we got fired up there, mate. I didn't expect to get that heated on a Friday evening.
Oh, mate, no, like, I hope the listeners enjoy it. Like, we're passionate about disc golf. We're here to talk.
I'm just worried. I got Lloydie's Oz kick after this, and if anyone mentions what are you up to, I'm just going to go sit down, hold my beer.
Well,
where's your half an hour?
Have you ever heard of disc golf? Yeah. No, I like it. Right, well, let's whip through the rest of it, mate. We've got Jomez, the segment.
Yes. So
So-
the first bracket matchup was 2019 versus 2022?
Yep.
I thought it was just going to be an absolute steamroll. Like 2019 is certainly my jam.
Yep.
What about you, Paddy? What's your
100%. I was right there with you. Yep, 2019.
She was toy.
Savage.
It was 41% voted 2022. So definitely got the fans out there.
Yeah,
59% went for Juice, though, and 2019 takes it out, mate.
Look, 2019, we thought it'd go through and it's gone through. So all good. So what's next?
As expected. So next up we have 2017, which is actually the original, Paddy, versus 2020. So
All right.
2017's Juiced versus 2020's Big Disc Energy.
Shall we have a quick 30
let's have a
seconds of
listen.
each? Let's
Roll
go.
with 2017.
2017. Oh, it's not a bad drop there, Tim. 2017.
A lot of build up.
Does take me back.
Yep.
All right, next up, we've got 2020 Big Disc Energy. Oh, mate.
Tasty. This one's going to be hotly contested, I think. 2017 being the original.
Yeah.
It's going to be in a lot of people's hearts.
It's,
There's a lot of new disc golfers out there that maybe didn't know it, though. So
yeah, like, it did take me back 2017, but that 2020 there was some good disc golf in 2020.
good name too, Big Disc Energy.
Yeah.
Fitting for that tune.
That's going to be tight. That's going to be tight. I like it.
Make sure you, as I said, search Starframe in Spotify.
Yep.
Give those two a listen and keep an eye out for the socials where you can chuck in your votes because very keen to see who gets up in this matchup.
All right. Now, we did have a couple of questions come in, so let's get through them quickly so we can get you off to your son, Timmy. So the first one, Champs being a 4-day tourney as a separator to all the other events that's been sent in by Reese Wisniewski. What do you reckon?
Oh, look, 100%.
No-brainer?
I mean, we tried to bring this up when you were running 2021's Inverleigh.
Yeah.
Very hotly debated topic, actually. Like, there's pros and cons. 4 days means you kind of have to take another day off work. Not everybody's going to want to sign up for a 4-dayer. You know, particularly the amateur side of things, like MA4ers.
Yep.
They're not going to want to play 4 days. So I think maybe a good balance is 4 days for the pros and the top divisions, 3 days for the rest.
Well, we're seeing the split for the weekends with it now. So, yeah, why not?
Yep.
Do 4 days. I think it's, no-brainer. I will take 4 days off for Champs every year.
Yeah,
Easy.
We've been slapping Vic Opens because of their payouts, but they did go to 4 days for Vic Open at Ballarat last year.
They did. It was great.
Bloody amazing. Like
Yep.
that easily was the best, experience. 4 days too.
Yeah,
You get to
and
see the cream of the crop come out.
We saw people step up to play that.
To play that 4th day.
Instead of 3
that
days.
Little,
So
that little incentive.
people want to do it. Incentivize.
Please.
All right. Now, Zach has sent in, he wants us to do power rankings for the best putters, forehand, distance backhand, touch backhand in Australia and the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And Zach, I don't have that much time this week, mate.
Or ever. Sounds amazing. I'd love to do it.
But no, I think we're trying to line up a special Vic Open podcast, mate. And I think we'll do that on that podcast for you, just for you.
Sounds good. Let's do that.
Sam Stoyer has sent in spit outs seem to be all the rage. Should Disc Golf Pro Tour have only one basket type for all events? We have already touched base on this.
Oh, no, that's a good question. Look, I think yes.
Shame Fergie's not here. I'd love to hear an unbiased opinion.
Oh, let's hear about galvanised versus non-gal and just... look, I think the short answer is yes.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense to have a standardised piece of equipment for all the Pro Tour events.
Yeah.
I mean, I just look at bloody cricket and I'm probably going to make a lot of cricket fans rage here. But I mean, like, why is the pitch and like, why is that the biggest factor in terms of determining how the game's played? Why isn't there a standardised pitch? What I don't know. Anyway,
I suppose
same with baskets. I think, like, why is it a different basket at every single?
Well, what about basketball? Is there? It's got the right height and it's the right like hoop size,
100%,
all that sort of stuff.
And at the amateur level, you're playing with balls that are varying ages. So you might have a nice crisp light ball, beautiful shoot with. Go to another venue and you got a shitty all ball. Like, it sucks. Like, having that discrepancy between the two is very difficult to make you play. But I think short answer is yes. Long answer is, like, what basket would it be? And how do you rip out every basket at all these, permanent courses and replace it with newies?
Yeah, it's a lot.
The thing with baskets is that everybody's got their favourite and everybody's got their least favourite, and it's different for everybody because some people's putts catch well on others and some people's putts don't catch well on other ones.
Well, Timmy, we're doing the Jomez tier
we
at the
do
moment.
Baskets.
Maybe next one we do is baskets.
Can you imagine the fighting? Like, people will lose their life over this.
Yeah, all right.
Like,
good.
Corey Ellis says the best basket he's putted on is the RPM Helix.
Nah, trash.
That's my least
Corey.
favourite. That's one of my.
Is that why Corey came? What did he come at? Johannesburg? He shot like 3 over in the first round. Yeah, come on.
Yeah. I happen to like the first rad as well, and I know that's not a lot of people's favourites. That catches my putts. I've had more.
I like the first rad.
I've had more good catches on that basket. The RPMs, they despise my putts.
The new RPMs, they're quite good. They do catch all right.
Still, mate, they still hate my putts.
Yeah.
Old
RPM, yeah.
I literally changed my putt for after champs because they're just like, those heavy chains. You got to smash them. So I think Gannon would love them. Corey obviously loves them. Yeah. But I don't think it'd suit everybody.
I did like the RPMs. I didn't like how the catcher could.
It rotates.
That was a bit weird. But the chain formation, the fall, I could putt quite harder and they did catch all right. But yes, no, I think it would be interesting to see, but very hard to do. But yeah, no, good question. I think we should do a tier to find out what is the favourite basket. That would be interesting.
That'd be good to know. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of episode 59. Big shout out to Clayton for coming on and having a bit of a chat about Vic Open. Who knows what conversations will be had, but if you have any thoughts on what we sort of talked about, please send them in. We'll read them out the next time and go through it a bit more because you are just hearing 3 MPO players talk about it, so it would be
have an absolute sook fest.
Yeah, go for it.
We're on our soapbox.
Bring it on.
Sad times. Like, if you feel like we're having to whinge too much, like, feel free to rein us in.
Yeah, tell us. We'll take it. All right,
except for you, Dad. I don't want to hear from Tez.
It's all right. He'll write to the Addy. Big thank you, Timmy, for coming on and sneaking this one in. And thank you for listening to another episode of The Tee Off. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Send in any question topics you'd like us to discuss. Until next time, we hope you get out and play some disc golf with your mates.
So that's the end of the episode. Thanks for listening. I don't know why you're still here. We have to go see our families. Seriously, just go play disc golf.